Now guys, when you're meeting these people, these recruiters, let's say, you have the top 3 companies you want to meet that night. And when you go up to these people, make sure you look them in the eye, give them a firm handshake. Not this. That's no good. Not this. I've actually seen that. I'm like, what is that, the claw?
Nothing can stop the claw!
No, I'm talking about a firm handshake, not a bone-crushing handshake, but just firm. And look them in the eye and say, hi, my name is Mike. It is a pleasure to meet you. And just exude confidence, not arrogant confidence. I'm not talking about a know-it-all confidence, but fake it till you make it, guys. I know it's awkward, it's weird at these things. I remember having to fake it. You just have to fake that confidence if need be, but practice it in the mirror the night before. Practice what you're gonna say and just go up to them, give them a firm handshake and introduce yourself. Avoid negative conversations at all costs. I actually had one guy tell me he had just got out of prison.
Hi there.
And I'm like, why do you want to tell me that? It's like, just avoid negative conversations if you can. You are there to meet them, to express your value to them, why they might want to get to know you more, why they might want to hire you as an intern or look at you as a potential future candidate for their organization. So you want to give off the best image and vibe you can. And you do that by exuding confidence, being prepared, being well-dressed, giving them a firm handshake. It says a lot. It says more than you think it does to recruiters. And just having some knowledge regarding their organization because you've taken time, back on one of our earlier tips, to look up what their company's about and you're ready to ask them questions now about their company. So let's talk about that right now. All right, okay, so let's talk about some questions you might ask them. And so let me just go over a few examples here. So you might ask them, hey, what part about your job or company do you enjoy the most? You get a feel from them what they like about their organization and see if that sounds like something you would like as well. How long have you been working for the company and what made you choose this organization when you were first looking for a job? What is a typical workday like for you? Can you walk me through it? You can say, the next question you can ask them is, what is something about your organization that most people wouldn't know? When someone starts working for your organization, what are some of their first responsibilities or tasks? What are some career paths available for your organization if somebody were to start off as an intern? What aspect of your job do you find most challenging and what aspect of your job do you enjoy the most? So those are some questions. I mean, obviously you don't have to use these guys, but those are just some examples of questions you can ask the recruiters to spark a conversation and to show how you're interested in working for the organization. They love questions like that. Now there's a lot, you might have heard that networking has a lot of similarities to dating, right? Obviously there's differences, but there are a lot of similarities of dating and networking. So it's really awkward, and here's a mistake I see people make, is when you're gonna go meet somebody, you're walking up to that table or their booth where they're stationed at that career fair, one of the worst things you can do is I see people do this all the time. They do it literally all the time. It's frustrating, but they'll walk right up to you and they'll say, hi, I'm so-and-so. Do you have internships? And it's like, whoa, it's just like, it's too forward. And it's kind of like imagine if you had, let's say a girl you liked or somebody you wanted to go ask out. So imagine, you don't know them at all. And you walk up to a complete stranger and say, hey, my name is Mike, want to go out? You're gonna freak them out. So that wouldn't work in a dating environment, so it doesn't work in a networking environment. Promise me that you won't just immediately go to the first person you see and ask them, hey, you have an internship? No, ask them these other questions first. Get to know what their company's like. Ask them questions about their organization. Get to see what they're like, get to know them before asking that question. And when you're leaving, when you're ending that conversation at that point, when you're about to walk away from them, their table, and say, hey, it was really nice meeting you. I would love to stay in touch with you. I want you to ask them, do you have a business card? Get their business card from them. And you can also ask, hey, do you have any internships available right now? Do you have some openings? Do you foresee some openings coming up at your company? So ask them questions like that, but at the end of the conversation. I'm gonna go back to the business card thing in just a second. Now let me flip things around a little bit. So we just went over some questions that you can ask them, but be prepared for them, the recruiters, the companies, to ask you questions as well. So here are some questions that they might ask you while you're at the event, so be prepared. So let me read off a couple to you right now. How did you hear about our company? What made you interested in accounting or finance? What's your favorite accounting class and why? So tell me what hobbies you have or enjoy outside of work and school. Tell me about your work experience or your background in accounting. Do you have experience at this point, or what are you doing to gain experience? When are you expecting to graduate, and what are some of your plans after graduation? So those are some examples of questions the employers might ask you while you're at that event, so be prepared as possible. So I just wanted to give you guys some examples of some common questions I hear at these kind of events. Okay guys, let's go back and revisit that tip I just gave you about asking for their business card before you leave the conversation. I'm not asking you to get their business card just so you can like keep it in your pocket or have a collection of, companies' business cards. Woohoo! I mean, that's not gonna do anything for you. The reason I'm asking you to ask them for their business card is so that you can go back the next day, and usually their business cards will have their email on it. And I would like you, if you're interested in learning more about their organization or working for them, I would encourage you to take the email on their business card the very next day or that week, not long after that career fair that you just attended, and email them, follow up with them. Say, hey, so I would say something like, hey, it's Mike. It was so nice to meet you the other night at such and such college recruiting event. I had a great time learning more about you and your organization. And then you can go on and say, hey, I don't know if I didn't get a chance to give you my resume, or maybe I already gave them my resume, so I might say, oh, here's another copy of my resume just in case you need it. Here's some cover letters. Here's some letters of references I have that speak for my my work ethic. So please feel free to check it out, and I'll keep in touch. Doing this shows how professional you actually are and how thoughtful you are, because you've just given them your resume again. Maybe you've given them your cover letter and references, things like that. Maybe things you couldn't give them the first night. But it gives you another opportunity to speak about why you might be able to be a good fit and help their organization. It gives you another chance to promote yourself. And that is the purpose of the business card, my friends. And plus, you'll start to get to know some of the people of their organization. So following up with them and thanking them for their time that night looks very professional. And so when they do have openings, and you can ask, hey, if they don't have any openings right now, you can ask them in that email, say, hey, here's my resume, etc. Let me know, I'd be interested in working for your organization. Please think of me or consider me when you have internship opportunities available or new positionings open up. And you can follow up with them every 6 months. And I use that approach to land my job. That's one of the approaches I took, just to keep in touch with one of their recruiters, and it makes a huge difference. And like I said, it makes you look very professional, very thoughtful, very prepared. All right, guys, remember, also with the business card, you can go on LinkedIn and connect with them there. So there's many different ways you can use this business card, just besides email. Now, I'm gonna leave social networking and social media out of this video, but that's just something I really wanted to mention just real quick. I can give you some suggestions on how to promote yourself professionally on like LinkedIn and some of those other sites in another video if you'd like me to. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, those are all the networking tips I have for you today. If there's anything I talked about that did not make sense, which is highly likely, that happens, feel free to ask me questions. Drop your questions and comments in the comment section down below. I'd be more than happy to respond. Let me know which one of these networking tips you want to implement first. What do you think would work for you based on your current personality and situation? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys are excited to try. And I can tell you guys, I've been doing this for years now, and these tips work. It's a professional approach to networking. Most students who are looking for a job in college aren't gonna follow up like that, aren't gonna have that level of professionalism. So if you do these things, it's really going to help you stand out. Is it gonna guarantee you get a job? Of course not, but I really think it's gonna help you, because I still see it working today. And these tips on career fair networking types of things, when we see people do that, they really look professional, and those are the people that we usually will contact because they're so prepared. All right, guys, if you liked the video, make sure to drop a like if you liked it. Share this information with a friend, especially a friend who's looking to land their first job in accounting or any other type of job, because these networking tips aren't just accounting job specific, they go across the industries. Also, if you have not already subscribed, be sure to do so, because every single week on this channel we produce new videos that are gonna help you improve your financial position, your career, and your life, because that's the mission of our channel. All right guys, I love you so much. Thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and I will see you all next week. Have a great week, everybody. I'll see you next week. Peace. Live life uncaged.